Namaste, everyone. Welcome to a chakra slow flow for the throat chakra and the crown chakra. Tonight, we are going to be opening and balancing the energies in both of these chakras so that they are working in harmony together. These two chakras are not often paired, although they are both considered higher chakras, as in above the heart, and associated with the non-physical realms like the universe and the spiritual, whereas our lower chakras below the heart are more associated with the earthly realm and physical experiences. So they do work really well together when both are balanced and in harmony. Our throat chakra on its own is how we are communicating to the world, to other people, and communicating our needs, our boundaries, and our truth. It's how we speak our truth and how we show up authentically in the world and to other people. The crown chakra, on the other hand, located at the top of the head, this is what connects us to the divine, to the universe, and to spirit. And physically speaking, it is the part of our bodies that is closest to the sky and furthest away from the earth. It's also what connects us to what our higher purpose is and who our higher self is. So combined together, when these chakras are working in harmony, not only are we showing up and speaking our truth, but we are also connected to what our higher purpose is and our higher self, and we're allowing our higher self and our higher purpose to come out in our communication, in our words, and in our actions through the throat chakra. So I'm super excited to share this flow with you all tonight. We will need just two props, 2 blocks, and then whenever else you would like or need to be comfortable in your practice. And as always, feel free to modify this practice or take a break at any time whenever you would like. When you're ready, come down to your mat and take a comfortable seat. You can cross your legs. And we're going to begin with our eyes closed. If you need to move a little bit before you become still, then feel free to move and then find a settled and still place. And take 3 deep and slow breaths. Breathing low into your belly. And then releasing. Take a moment to give yourself permission to have the next hour with complete focus and dedication to your self-care through this yoga class. And allow the rest of your thoughts and plans to be there for you later. For now, be present. Take another inhale, and as you do, you can lift your arms over your head. And then take an exhale, draw your hands down into prayer mudra in front of your heart. These next few moments are yours to set an intention that would serve your practice. After you've set your intention, you may lower your hands face down to your lap, and then take another breath in, lengthening your spine as you do, dropping your shoulders. In preparing for our pranayama practice, Ujayi breath, we'll take an inhale through the nose. And then with the exhale, we're going to slightly tighten the back of the throat, making the exhale more pronounced, more easily heard. Once more, inhaling through the nose. And exhaling, lightly constricting the back of the throat so you can hear your exhales. As you breathe out, you may feel the back of your throat become more warm. Let the breath still flow smoothly, even though there's a little bit more tightness in the throat. Go ahead and take a few more of these breaths on your own. We're going to be taking about 10 collective Ujayi breaths. Take about 3 more of your Ujayi breaths. And after your next exhale, let your breath return to normal. And then check in with yourself. Notice how your body's feeling and how your mind is feeling after those breaths. And as you take your next inhale, you may open your eyes. And then we're going to bring our hands up to the sides of the face, taking the thumbs and bringing them to where your jaw hinges. And you can make some small and gentle circular motions, massaging your jaw. Our throat chakra not only is located in the throat, but it also moves up into the mouth and also the jaw as well. When we have a blockage or when we have diminished energy in our throat chakra, sometimes the jaw can become very tense and we may keep our jaw a little bit more locked than normal when the throat chakra needs to become more open, when we need to be speaking our truth more and opening up about what we need a little bit more. So take a few more moments to massage your jaw and loosen your jaw as well, leaving a little bit of space between your teeth. You can lower your hands back down to your lap, taking another inhale for a nice straight back. And then exhale, moving your right ear over to the right to get a stretch in the left side of your neck. Slowly move your head back upright, taking a breath in. And exhale, bring your left ear down. Letting the head hang. Taking a few breaths as the right side of your neck becomes a little more loose and open. And inhale, bring your head back up. We'll now take our legs to the side and come to all fours in tabletop position. Aligning your shoulders over your wrists and knees under your hip bones. And then inhaling, bring your chest forward, dropping your belly, lifting your gaze. Exhaling, rounding the back, pushing the floor away, slight tuck of your chin. And continue to move in and out through cat and cow, flowing with your breath. Take a few more rounds. And then you can meet me in tabletop position, coming down into child's pose, sinking the hips to the heels. Bring the forehead down. Feel free to walk your hands forward a little bit more. If you would like some more stretch in your upper back and in your shoulders. And inhale, come up, walk your hands back. Come into a kneeling position for Vajrasana. We'll bring our hands to our heart center and then slightly tuck the chin down towards the throat. Taking a few mindful breaths. And then inhale, lift your head up. And then bring your arms in front, taking the right elbow on top of the left, finding Garudasana arms, then lifting up your fingertips. And exhale, reverse, left elbow on top. And with your exhale, release your hands down. We're going to move into rabbit pose next. If you are familiar with rabbit pose, feel free to come on down. If you are not, then I will demonstrate and then we will go there together. So we're going to come to all fours and then take the crown of the head down onto the mat and then bring the hands back just a bit. And then bring your nose towards the space in between your knees. It's okay if it doesn't come all the way back between the knees, but make sure that there's no pressure on your neck. And once you are here, you can reach behind,
Grab onto your ankles and then lift your hips up.
Okay, that was the demonstration. So come on down, coming to all fours first. Bringing the crown of the head down, checking in with the neck, making sure the back of the neck doesn't feel crunchy. And then take the hands, bring them back towards the knees, and then begin to move your nose back towards the place between your knees, readjusting the crown of your head. And feel free to stay here if you feel like you need your hands for some balance and support. Otherwise, you may reach back with your hands, grab your heels or ankles, and then begin to lift your hips up. Take a few breaths here. Very good. Exhale, bring your hips down towards your heels. You can come back up to kneeling. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down to your hearts. Reorienting ourselves since we were upside down for just a moment. And once you feel stable, you can walk your hands forward. And spread your fingers wide, tuck your toes, and then press back, downward facing dog. Moving however you would like or however you need to warm yourself up to your downward facing dog. Take a big inhale through your nose in your downward dog. And exhale through the mouth. Once more, inhaling through your nose. Exhaling with a sigh through your mouth. Now we'll take a few lion's breaths. We're going to inhale through the nose. And then with the exhale, we're going to open the mouth and stick the tongue out. So take an inhale through your nose. And then exhale through the mouth, opening it. This is awesome for the throat chakra. Take another inhale, a few more lion's breaths. And you can come back to breathing through your nose. Inhaling to look forward between your hands, coming to your toes and bending your knees. And then taking small steps up to the front of your mat, coming to feet hip width apart. And then inhale, halfway lift yourself up, hands on your shins or on your blocks. And then exhale, fold down, relax your head. Then inhale, slowly come up, grounding down through your feet, rolling the spine upright, and then lifting your arms above your head, lifting your gaze. Breathing out to bring the hands down to your heart. Very good. Breathing again, arms up. Breathe out, forward fold. And then bring your hands in front of your feet. Inhaling, straightening out your back like you're halfway lifting up. And then exhale, knees bend, hands plant down, step to plank. And then lower down to your mat, coming to the belly. And inhale, lift the head, lift the chest, come up to cobra. It can be a high cobra or a low cobra today, whichever you feel like. And then exhale, slowly bring yourself back down to your mats. Inhaling to tuck the toes and press up to plank. And then passing back with exhale to downward facing dog. Bring your feet together. And then with your next inhale, you can lift your right leg up. Try to keep both of your hips level with the floor. And then exhale, tuck your right knee in like you're going to pull it to your nose. And then step the foot forward. Left knee comes down to your mat and your toes untuck. And then inhale, rise up to a low lunge, coming to Anjaneyasana, squaring your hips forward. We're going to extend our index fingers and our thumbs over our head, right above the crown chakra, keeping the shoulders relaxed and plugged down into their sockets. Mindfully breathing here. Sinking the hips forward, maybe a little bit more. And then with your next inhale, if you feel stable, you can look up to your hands. And then exhale, bring your gaze down, bring your hands down to frame your foot. Lift up your back knee and step to plank pose. Coming down to the belly. Hands next to the ribs, pressing up with the inhale. Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Exhaling down. Inhaling up to plank. Exhaling, downward dog. Moving the head in your downward dog, you can shake it back and forth. You can move it up and down. Mix of both. Whatever feels good for your neck. And then feet come together. Inhaling up the left leg this time. And then exhale, pulling the foot through to a lunge. Right knee comes down. Legs squeeze together as you rise up to Anjaneyasana. Finding the clasp, extending the fingers above the head. Maybe sinking the hips forward, lifting the chest a little bit more. And then the option to look up to your hands. With your exhale, release your clasp. Hands come down. Lift up your right knee, plank pose. Moving down through your flow. Inhaling up to your cobra. Either coming down to the mat and pressing up to plank, or tucking the toes underneath and then slowly tucking in the lower belly and lifting back to downward dog. Inhale up onto the tips of the toes and then bend the knees. Look forward and then take steps up to the front of the mat, feet hip width. Inhaling to halfway lift up the body. And exhaling to release the body down and fold. Bring your hands behind your head, finding a clasp. Tucking the chin down. Feeling the back of the neck stretch out. Then release your hands. And then inhale, slowly, slowly coming up. Lifting the arms up, lifting your gaze. Bring your hands down to your heart. Very good. Once more, inhale, arms come up. And then exhale, sink your hips down as you pull in your lower belly and bend your knees, coming to Utkatasana, fierce pose. From here, you can look up between your hands or keep your chin level with the floor. Whichever feels okay for your neck, and take a few breaths in your fierce pose. And then inhale, come back up, and then lift your chest up toward the ceiling, reaching back. And then exhale, chest forward, bring your hands back down to your heart space. Inhale once more, reach up. And exhale, move through slow motion, coming all the way back down to your forward fold. No rush to get there. Bring your hands in front of your feet, inhaling to halfway lift. And then exhale, knees bend, hands plant. We are gonna only step back with the left foot this time, keeping the right knee over the ankle in front of the mat. And then we're gonna plant the left heel down so the toes are at an angle facing the left corner of the mat. Prepare for warrior one. Feet plant down, legs squeeze together, lift up, and then lift your arms up above your head, finding that same mudra, thumb and index finger extended. Pull your left hip forward, don't let it pull back. Pull it towards the front of the room. Try to keep the left and the right hip in about the same line. And you may look up between your hands. Excellent job. Exhale, release your hands, pivot to warrior two. Left heel moves to the side, left toes facing the long edge of your mat. Open your arms out. Move your drishti, your gaze, over your right fingertips here. And slowly straighten out your right leg. Feel free to grab a block. We're gonna move to triangle pose. Feel free to bring a block by your foot. We're gonna leave a little bit of bend in the right knee, but straighten it slightly and then reach forward. And then bring your right hand down to your block, down to your ankle, or down to the mat. Whichever works for you. And once you are stable wherever you're at, you can begin to straighten out your right knee without locking it. Reaching up with your left hand. looking up towards your left hand. Deep breaths. Slightly bend your right knee again. Prepare to come up and then lift back up, warrior two. Bring your hands down and then positioning your back foot so it faces forward and then stepping up to the front of your mat, lifting your left knee in front. You may bring the left foot to the inside of the right ankle, to the right calf, or to the right thigh. Finding your balance, finding a gazing point, locking your eyes there. And just letting it go if you lose your balance and come out of the pose. Take a deep breath and then try again. Being patient, being compassionate with your body, with yourself. Feel free to grow some branches, lifting up your arms. Lifting up your gaze. And then exhale, release down. And then take a wider stance at your mat. Taking the feet a little wider than hip width apart. Prepare for goddess pose. The heels are going to come in. The toes are going to point out to the sides. And then we're going to inhale, lift up the arms. And then exhale, draw the hands down. And as we draw the hands down, we're going to bend the knees and squat down. Goddess pose. You can stay up high or you can come down low. Be mindful of what your body wants today. And take a few focused breaths. And inhale, come back up, lift your arms up. And then with your exhale, we're going to bring both hands behind the head. And then lower down to our goddess squat. And inhale, slowly come up. You're going to release your hands down. And then we are going to flow the opposite way in the opposite direction. So we are going to bring the right foot with the toes to face the long edge of the mat. Bring the left toes to face the back of the mat. And then bend your left knee over the ankle. Warrior two. Anytime we are switching our perspective, like moving upside down or moving backwards through the flow or flowing towards the back of the mat, that's what opens our third eye and our crown chakra. So anytime you are working on your crown in your yoga flows, feel free to switch it up by moving from front to back. And then begin to straighten out your left leg. And then find Trikonasana. Hands to the block or to the mat, reaching up. Then inhale, come back up, warrior two. Spin your right foot around, planning to warrior one. Finding the mudra above the head and looking up. And then exhale your hands down to your heart. And then step up to the back of the mat, bringing the right knee in front of the body. And then finding your tree pose on your left side. You may try with the foot down at the ankle and then work your way up. Take a moment to check in with your back, make sure your spine is extended. Check in with your right knee. Maybe open that right hip a little bit more by moving the right knee slightly more to the right. And take another inhale. Big breath in and then exhale, release, let it go. Shake out the legs if you like. And then we're going to take our block, bring it in about the center of the mat. And then we're going to take a wide-legged stance. And inhale, lift up our arms. And exhale, keep a little bend in your knees as you come down. And then bring your hands to the ground. And then we're going to bring the top of the head down to the mat, down to the block. We're going to position that block. It can be up high, it can be low. You want to rest the very top of the crown down on top of it in a way that is comfortable for your neck and comfortable for your back. And we're going to inhale, halfway lifting up to the fingertips. And exhale, come back down. If you want to readjust your feet, scoot them in or scoot them a little further out, feel free. If you want to adjust your block, feel free. Then we're going to inhale, half lift again. And this time heel toe the feet a little closer in, but turn the toes out and then sink the hips down, coming into yogi squat and Malasana. Hands in prayer, extend your back. Take a few relaxing inhales and exhales. Slowly release your hands. And then you can bring your hands behind you, make your way to a seat. Then bring your legs in front of you. We're going to slowly come all the way down to our backs. Moving down one vertebrae after the other. And once we're here, let's plant our feet next to our sit bones. Taking just a moment for ourselves to reorient, become adjusted to being on our backs. And with your next inhale, you're going to lift both feet up, lifting them up into waterfall pose. Feel free to bend the knees here and feel free to use your hands on your legs for some support. And with your exhale, bring your feet back down. Press your shoulders down to your mat. And then inhale your hips up, lifting up into bridge pose. You may slowly come down from bridge pose. And then we are either going to move into bridge pose, which is option 1, or plow pose, which is option 2. If you are familiar with plow, then feel free to move right into it. If this is your first time doing plow, then I recommend sticking with bridge pose until you have someone with you who can see you and make sure that you are doing it in a way that doesn't hurt your neck. So feel free to lift up, coming to bridge or plow. And wherever you land, tuck your chin under. And then begin to find Brahmari breath. Using your voice as you take your exhales and humming with your breath. Last breath in bridge or plow. And if you come out of plow, feel free. Take a little shoulder stand before you come back down. If you're in bridge, go ahead, lower your hips back down. Take a few head rolls, moving the head from side to side. You can bring your head to stillness and lift up your knees. And then slowly drop your knees over to the right. Feel free to open your arms out into a T if you've got the space. Supine twist. And you may look over to the left, if that's all right, on your neck. Slowly bring your head back up through center. Lifting up your knees. And then bringing them over to the left side. Over to the right. Inhale, moving your head through center, lifting up your knees, and then hugging your knees in towards your chest, maybe rocking back and forth on your spine. You may slowly come to a pause and then bind with the edges of your feet for happy baby.
You may release your feet and make yourself comfortable for a relaxing Shavasana. We are bringing our bodies to stillness and bringing our minds to stillness, deepening our breath, holding a soft awareness on each of our inhales, on each of our exhales. Take a long and slow breath in. Slowly let it go. Breathe in again. And exhale, release. You may find some small movements, moving your toes, moving your fingers. And when you're ready, you may put your feet down and make your way onto your right side. When you're ready to come up for a seated meditation, press up with your hands. Find a comfortable seated position. Lifting up through the crown of your head for a straight and happy spine. Begin to breathe deeply. Breathing into your belly. With each inhale, You may repeat the mantra to yourself, I am truth. And as you exhale, you may repeat the mantra, I am divine. Inhale, I am truth. Exhale, I am divine. With your next exhale, you may release your mantras. Begin to bring your awareness back to the space that you're in and back to the present moment. You may take your hands together in front of your heart, giving yourself a moment to extend your gratitude for the practice of yoga, your gratitude to yourself. Feel free to keep the intention that you set for your practice. Keep it with you for as long as it serves you. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I hope you have a lovely evening and lovely rest of your week. Until next time.